It's all right.
Kieran Walker is quite shaken up by his past and doesn't really want to go home.
Could you maybe talk to someone, Dr. Shepherd, to get more time?
It's going to be good for you going home. Next.
But as a zombie, should he really be struggling with his afterlife?
And I started feeling sorry for the zombies instead of the survivors, and I was like, oh, I'm a bit weird for doing that. But then I was like, well, maybe other people would be kind of feeling that as well. So I kind of like to think about things in a bit of a left to centre way, I suppose, and kind of go, oh, you know, what would happen, I suppose. And that was the whole thing about In the Flesh, was like, what would really happen in a zombie apocalypse?
I'm not human. It's not my fault. It was my fault. It's so vivid what we did, what I did to her. I don't understand. I'm not ready.
Scientists would always kind of be coming up with a cure, and they would have this medication. So I kind of started playing. I kind of always play a like, okay, but then what would happen?
I am a partially deceased syndrome sufferer, and what I did in my untreated state is not my fault. But the guilt is crippling.
They don't see themselves as bad people. You could say Vicar Oddie and Bill, who's head of the Human Volunteer Force, that they're the bad guys, but in their own heads, they're not the bad guys, they're just trying to protect the community.
Rage, rage against the dying of the light.
We're living in a world where real monsters exist.
They are not your neighbors, not your friends. They are imposters, changelings of the highest order.
For Dominic Mitchell, working with the director Johnny Campbell was a great experience.
It was great. It was really amazing. Yeah, I mean, I was a big fan of his work, like right back to Phoenix Nights and Shameless, and then Eric and Ernie was just incredible, and he's done a lot of Doctor Who as well, and Ashes to Ashes was another one of my favourite shows. So it was a bit, when they told me about it, I was like, oh my god, it was incredible. But he came on board and he was very generous, and he just got the show, you know.
You look well. You look well.
What are you looking at, you weirdo?
It's a powerful ending. It's hopefully it brings some closure, you know, because it is about him being accepted into his family, and I hope that's, you know, that's something that's dealt with. But there's a lot of questions about the Rising, and if he's going to have to take this medication forever, and if he's going to become a real person, which, well, yeah, you'll just have to watch and see. Yeah.
I don't feel ready. But that's why they say I am ready. Because I'm feeling.
For the undead, life begins again. In the Flesh, on BBC 3.